White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. From the lane to far and wide, with the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Handy if I did that first, wouldn't it? Hi guys, and welcome to THFC Till I Die, home to on the past, present, and an exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. And look, I just wanted to do this quick pre-record. I've seen an awful lot of the last 24 hours. So I just want to get this right before we start off. Over the last 24 hours about Ange and how we didn't win last night, and that's now probably not good enough. The players weren't good enough. Werner, for what I saw, and I did watch the game later on, was woeful. Is it good enough? Are we good enough? And the answer to that is no. And there's a lot of questions. Should we sack Ange? Do we need to get rid of him? Yeah, you could do all that. Well, we've done that. We've done that since Pochettino. Every 18 months is a revolving door. Manager in, manager out, Ryan Mason in, new manager out, Ryan Mason in. It's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And after watching a few fan cans from different channels last night and getting different fans' reaction to the game, to Ange, to the players, to what I'm seeing and to what they're seeing, and everyone seems to be pointing the fingers at it's either Ange or it's either Daniel Levy or it's the players. And I said before, and I say it again, Lang, the sporting director, is getting away with murder because he is the one that's responsible for bringing in these players, bringing in the players that they help Ange to bolster the squad, to move a step forward up that ladder of becoming more contenders for titles, for cups, for European trophies, for domestic trophies, for the league, for top four. And the players who brought in the summer, and the likes of Bergville, who was fantastic last night, Archie Gray, 18-year-olds, asked to play in the position that he's not meant to play in, and I thought did very well last night. I thought the players that let us down was Porro. I thought Werner, good job he got taken off halftime because he did nothing. Sonny looks dead on his feet. Is his age catching up with Sonny? It could well be. We have 15 fit players now left. And this all boils back to the transfer window in the summer where we didn't do enough. We didn't help Ange enough. Ange is a manager at this present time, managing a football club with one hand tied behind his back. And for me as a fan, it isn't good enough. And you can quite easily blame the ownership. You can quite easily blame Ange himself. You can quite easily blame the players. You can quite easily blame the sporting director. But we as fans have a responsibility to rarely get behind the team every match, and they do. We have the best fans in the world. But there's only so much we can take. There's only so much more of results not going our way, players not performing, and his in-game management not good enough, the owners not backing the manager, John Lang not doing his job properly. And we cannot keep going on the way we're going. We're a football club that's not fit for purpose. And I think 23 years of not investing in the squad properly, of not backing managers at the right time, of not taking that leap of faith or that leap of, or sort of follow the club motto to go that extra mile to back a manager or bring in certain players to help him improve a squad or help him improve positions where we are struggling. And I think it's 23 years or 24 years of that building up and that just coming to a head. And where I've never really been Levy out or vocal Levy out, I'll always praise him when he does well, but I will criticize him when he doesn't do well. And I think there's a number of factors at the moment where we're not fulfilling our potential. We're not fulfilling the obligations where we should be fulfilling. The owner's job is to back a manager and prepare him with the funds to buy the players he thinks are going to do for his squad, that are prepared to take on that season's competitions, the league, the domestic cups in Europe. So you have a whole summer to get together the squad that's going to last you, or 25-man squad that's going to last you to January. And then in January, if you need the odd one or two, different players in to bolster that squad, because of injuries or suspensions, whatever, you go out and buy them, a bit like Conte did under his first year at the club when you bought Kulu and Bentancur, which got us top 4 at the end of that season. But we're not doing that, and we haven't done that. And we get ourselves into positions, we get ourselves into situations where we're ready to compete, where we reach finals, but we always fall at the final hurdle. We reach semi-finals, but we're never good enough to get over that line. And I think you can easily blame Ange Postecoglou. I think it's the easy option to blame the manager. I think the harder option is to take responsibility and say, right, I think that the responsibility and the blame for this lies with the board, and it lies with the sporting director. We cannot go through every 18 months sacking a manager and bringing a new manager in, or get Ryan Mason for 6 months and bringing a new manager in. We just can't do it anymore. And why buying young players is absolutely fantastic, and I agree with it. And Bergville and Archie Gray proved they're good enough, and they're good young players, and they are good enough to play in the first team. They're good enough to play in any situation. You need that experienced head in there just to guide some of these young players through, and we haven't done that. And it gets to the point to Sunday when we play Southampton, where, ironically enough, that was the last game Conte managed Tottenham before he had his meltdown in the press conference and ended his tenure as manager. And if we don't get a result on Sunday, does that mean Ange will then lose his job, or will Ange walk? And I'm hoping it doesn't. I'm hoping the board have the balls and the and the common sense and the attitude of we need to stand by this manager. And I hope they do, because Ange Postecoglou, for me, will get it right. And there's a lot of fans that don't back Ange, that want him out. They never wanted him here in the first team. Them fans, you're never going to win over, because they didn't want Ange at the club in the first place. So them fans, you're never going to win over. They have their way of thinking, and that's their opinion. You respect it. You try to take the points on board. You probably don't agree with it, but you move on. You got the fans that waver, that are sort of Ange out, Ange in the middle. Or you get the fans that are pure Ange in. I think you got to look at Ange game by game and use and take the compliment him when he needs complimenting, but criticize when he needs criticizing, because Ange's in-game management hasn't been great. His substitutions haven't been great. And again, that's been questioned. And that's something he can do and tinker with. Should he tinker with the squad and how his formation? Probably yes. He probably does. But do you then compromise your moral stand and your moral compass that I'm going to change completely because it's what the club want? And the answer to that is no. Ange Postecoglou should not change he should not change his philosophy, should not change the way he manages the games, how he prepares his side. He's an attacking manager. Tinker it, yes. Change it a little bit, yes. But just completely down your morals and how you believe the game should be played, no. I don't think he should do that. And I think he rather walk than do that. Another thing that I was noticing last night was a lot of fans asking for 3 at the back. We should go 3 at the back. We should go 5-3-2. But some fans have very short memories, because when we played that formation under Conte, and especially under Mourinho, and especially under Conte, we were finding it boring. It's not the Tottenham way. We're too defensive. We shouldn't be playing like this. So we've got a manager that comes in and plays the brand of football that we've been brought up on, and we complain about it. And we want him then to play the formation and the brand of football that we complained about under the previous managers. Now, is there a balance that you can mix the 2 and 2 together? There probably is. There probably is a compromise you can make somewhere along the line. But to go from one extreme to the other, I think I think Ange shouldn't do it. I think Ange should stick by his guns. This is who we are. This is who I am. You either take it, you either like me for who I am. If you don't like me, I can't control that. But I'm going to continue the way that I want to manage this football club. Tinker it, yes. Try to compromise where you can, yes. But to change your whole morals, to dump how you see the games played, to dump your philosophy, no. And lastly, on this, this is a very quick pre-record. I haven't prepped anything for this, and this is all probably from my heart and from my head and what I'm thinking. So if it seems I'm rambling, I'm sorry. If it seems I'm a little bit over the place, again, I'm sorry. But it's just what's in here, what's in my heart, and how I feel my club is going at the moment. And you've got to realize 43 years I've been following Tottenham Hotspur. The good, the bad, the ugly. I've seen it all. I've been there when we were successful. I was 7 the last time we won a European trophy. I've seen us, I was alive for 3. I've seen us win 2 FA Cups. I can't remember the one in 81. Vaguely remember the one in 82, but remember the winning UEFA Cup in 87. Definitely remember getting the cup final in 87 under David Pleat, where somebody said to me the other day, we should have done the treble, which we should have done, but we didn't. And that's another point I want to make about Ange. David Pleat that season wasn't working. He tweaked the formation. I think he was playing a 4-4-2, and he tweaked it to a 4-5-1. And we went on to a League Cup semi-final, an FA Cup final, and 3rd in the league. where we could have won the treble, because he tweaked it. He compromised. He tweaked what he was doing. He didn't abandon his philosophy. He didn't abandon how he sees the game. He tweaked it. And that's what Ange has to do, I think. Ange has to tweak it. I think he has to compromise a little bit, but tweak it. And then we will see. We've got a good squad, and that the squad are behind Ange. I don't believe that the players are not behind the manager. I believe they are. I think the majority of the fans are behind Ange. I think there was a poll done yesterday. I can't remember if it was a poll or that somebody put in a chat. I was watching another stream where 87% of the fans are behind Ange and only 10% behind Levy. And that tells you all you need to know. Ange Postecoglou is the best thing to happen to Tottenham Hotspur in the last couple of years. And we need to back him. We need to stand by him. The ownership need to back him in January. And I feel Ange will get it right. I do feel that. But if we lose on Sunday, then I think it's a whole different ballgame. I think then Ange is in very dangerous ground. And I don't think the board or Levy will let it slide much longer, because then top four becomes impossible. But we're still in all the other competitions. We just have to wait and see. But I do feel there's a tad overreaction to some of it. People don't want Ange out. Who do you want in? Who do you want in as manager? There's nobody out there unless you get a Graham Potter or a Gareth Southgate. And please, for the love of God, if they come in, I'd rather go in. I'd rather be in a coma than fecking watch Gareth Southgate and Graham Potter football. Seriously, I would. But look, all we can do is back the team, back the manager, back the players on Sunday to a win, and hopefully we get back on track. And all it is going to take one win. And one win, the confidence comes back, the good feel factor comes back, and we can start building again. And players will start coming back. It's just so unlucky that we've had so many injuries and suspensions as well. It's just been one of those seasons, and I've seen them before. But listen, guys, do hit the like button. Please do hit the subscription button as well, if you can. We're only 15 away from 2K, which means a lot. Now, I just want to bring up very quickly the team from yesterday. Just let me do that. There we go. And very quickly, I'm going to go over my predicted lineup for Southampton on Sunday. I will go more in depth in this lineup in the pre-match show Saturday, tomorrow night, guys. But with so many injuries out, would you keep Archie Gray? This is for you guys, so let me know in the comments. Would you keep Archie Gray as centre-back? Do you bring in Basuma and Sarr, or do you stick Sarr and Bergville in the midfield tree? Do you put Maddison in there? Do you put Kulu behind the front two in the number 10? Do you put Johnson and then Sonny as the wingers? You keep Solanke up front. Let me know, guys, what would you do with that lineup? That was the lineup that started. I don't think it was the full lineup that started. It was my predicted lineup from the game. But would you start that? Let me know, what changes would you make? Would you put Sarr and Bergville and Kulu as a midfield tree? Would you put Brennan Johnson and Sonny and Solanke as a forward tree? Would you keep Archie Gray as the centre back? We've only got 15 fit players. Do you play Lancashire up front? Do you bring back Ashley Phillips out from loan and put him back? Do you know? And one player I think we seem to have forgotten about, and I wish we did bring it back, is Højbjerg. We should never get rid of Højbjerg. And this is the reason why, because Højbjerg could have sat in and done his job. There was a player that was committed to the team, a leader of men. And we got rid of him. And by hell could we do with him now? But listen, guys, that's enough rambling for me. Please like and subscribe. Let's get to 2K before Christmas. It really means a lot to myself, Colin, Carl, and Tequila. Whatever you do, please enjoy the rest of your Friday evening. Back tomorrow night at 9 with the P-Match show, and then back on Sunday with Tottenham Team Talks at 6:15. Then we'll start with the watch-along at 6:45. Then, of course, we've got the watch-along, and then we've got the post-match show after the watch-along as well. I'm going to do a live one as well for this game. Apologies for no show last night. I haven't been feeling well, and I just really did not feel great. Felt a bit funny, so a family emergency to come up to, so I had to come off. So I do apologize for no streams last night, guys. But whatever you do, please like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate your support and your loyalty you showed the channel. Come on, you Spurs and Big Andrew Trust.